Monster Hunter Wilds is the newest installment in the Monster Hunter universe published by Capcom. My first Monster Hunter game was World back in 2018 and I absolutely loved it. With Wilds feeling very similar but better in many ways, I knew I had to pick it up and go for the platinum. The platinum consists of a total of 50 trophies, which come from the story, hunting, and capturing monsters, questing, crafting, and even fishing. First things first, the story. Now, people don't necessarily play Monster Hunter games for the story, and this one isn't anything to write home about either, but I'll still leave a timestamp to at least the end of the main story, so here is your spoiler warning. Start game, here we go! The story opens up with a group of people getting attacked by an unknown monster. This is when we are first introduced to Tashin and a young boy named Nata. Tashin helps Nata escape and tells him to seek others for help. Tashin! The game then cuts to a group of explorers flying around the Forbidden Lands when they spot Nata lying on the ground in the distance. The group is a little concerned because they thought the Forbidden Lands were uninhabited. This launches an investigation and is where we come in. But not before a title card. Shout out to Dead Meat. Monster Hunter Wilds, here we go. Ah, yes, character creation. This footage is sped up 500%, but can we take a second to appreciate the fact that the music still goes kind of hard?
A few moments later.
There we go. Lock her in. We get a flashback to our leader, Fabius, going over the mission with us. He says the boy claims to be from a clan known as the Keepers. The guild has tasked us with the rescue of the Keepers and an investigation into the monster that attacked them, the White Wraith. We snap back to reality and are introduced to Alma, our guild handler, Gemma, our smithy, and of course, Nata. Shortly after, we come across a young girl being chased by a herd of monsters. Being the absolute Chad that we are, we jump off the ship and chase after to help. Parkour!
Here we go.
That was pretty sick. She tells us that her brother is in danger and needs our help. This is when we get to pick our weapon. Long sword.
You can try out your weapon over here.
I was a longsword main in World, so I decided to stick with that. It had been a while since I played, so I was a bit rusty, but eventually I got the hang of it. We find the girl's brother and get our first taste of monster hunting. I don't need no support. I got this, brother. Thank you, though. What, do I have to? Okay, whatever. Where you going, buddy? First monster slain. Let's go. I guess these people have no idea what weapons are and couldn't believe we were able to beat the monster.
Really do that? There's no way you should have been able to. So, how?
With our big sword. When we get back to base camp, we get our first trophy. Windward Lands. Completed mission The Desert Trotters. We then escort Yasai and Nona back to their village, only to be rudely dismissed by their leader.
We'll be going then.
What a turd. On the way back to base, we discover another threat which we are able to avoid. What the heck is that?
That thing is awfully close to the village.
Yeah, it sure is.
Can we get out of here? I almost wet my fur.
Oh, Candy, you silly. Once back to base, we notice the support team hasn't returned yet, just as an SOS flare is shot out in the distance. We run off to find the support team being chased around by a Kamatrice. Thankfully, Yasai shows up with a secret and allows us to use it to chase down the monster. After the fight is over, Yasai gives us the secret to keep for our journey. He also invites us back to his village for a meal with his grandmother. We mention the monster we spotted, and Yasai says it is a Doshagama, but they usually don't venture outside of the forest. We also ask if she has heard of Nata's people, but unfortunately, no such luck. With no other leads, we head to the Scarlet Forest to investigate the Doshagama. This is where we meet Olivia, Eric, and Werner, who are part of a different unit. We explore the forest and come across some fur and scratch marks that could belong to the Doshagama. Eric also finds Lalabarina florets and decides to wander off. Noticing Eric is missing, we run after him and find him trapped in the Lalabarina's nest. Olivia grabs him and takes him to safety while we get to slicing and dicing. With the Lalabarina out of the way, we head back to our pop-up camp only to discover the Woodwood creatures going through our stuff. We follow them back to their hideout and they tell us that the fur and scratches we found are actually from a Kongalala. They ask us to take it out for them in exchange for the item they stole from our tent. Oh. That's nasty, brother. After dealing with Gassy, we discovered the Doshagama are traveling in a pack and they have a leader. With the new information, we head back to Kunafa to warn Yasai and get them to evacuate their village. He believes us, but says we will need to get Zato to convince the village elder. He tells us that Zato went to the oasis, so that's where we head. We get to him just as he is trying to lure away a pack of Balaharas. Saving him and fending off the monster earns us his respect. We get back to the village and the elder agrees to evacuate the village just in time for the Doshagama to show up. We chase them out of the village and into the sandstorm and take down the Alpha. It's me and you, big boy. That's it. After doing so, we head back to Kunafa to make sure everyone is safe. While there, Nata, who has been working with the other unit, tells us of a place they found in the forest that could lead to the White Wraith. We head back to the forest and meet up with Olivia and Eric, who are fighting with an Uthduna. This is its territory and we are the invaders, so we have to weaken it to slip away.
Understood. Olivia, we have a secret. Can you ride?
Before too long, an unknown monster joins the fight, which Nata confirms to be the White Wraith. Before we can stop it, the monster flies away. Shadow in the Downpour. Completed mission Beyond the Deluge. Alma suggests that we talk to the Woodwoods to see if they saw where it went. They did not see anything, but while chatting with them, we run into Zato and some of his people who are traveling to a village in the oil springs. In hopes that they may have information on Nata's home, we travel with them. When we arrive, we are introduced to some of the villagers. We also witness a girl running out of the village yelling. Zato takes us to talk to Chief Yabran to ask about Nata's people. He doesn't know directly of them, but he takes notice of Nata's necklace. The pendant makes him think of an old tribe and thinks Nata's people could be linked to them. He says he will try and get us a guide through the tunnels to the village. We also ask him about the girl we saw running out of the village. He tells us that she went against his will to gather oil for the village festival, but it is very dangerous out there. So of course we offer to go find her. We catch up to her and take out the Rompopolo that attacked her. We return her back to the village just in time for the festival to begin. Only for some reason the forge doesn't light. Something is afoot as two villagers from Kunafa ride in and tell Zato that the sand tide is happening again already. Thinking the White Wraith could have something to do with it, we travel back to Kunafa as well. After talking to Zato back at Kunafa, we decide to head to the Eye of the Storm and see if we can figure out what is causing it. Once we reach the wind's gas, we see the White Wraith clashing with the region's apex predator, Ray Dao. Eventually, the White Wraith flies off again, but Ray Dao has gone berserk. In order to protect the village, we must slay the monster.
Protect the surrounding population. Will authorizes us to hunt Ray down.
Easy dubs. With another monster slain, we regroup, and Gemma tells us that she notices the strange substance we saw in Azus is here as well and glowing for some reason. Right after the sandstorm fades away and so does the glow. Eric then suggests that we tell Werner what we found, so we make our way back to the oil springs. While discussing our findings with Werner, one of the townsfolk comes up and tells us that he can show us a way through the tunnels we had asked about earlier. We follow him to the tunnels, and when we arrive, Nada remembers traveling through them. We continue down the tunnel, but our path is blocked by ice that was not there before. As we continue our search, we come across a Nursilla who has webbed up a Woodwood. In order to save him and secure the area, we must hunt the monster. The Woodwood we saved is named Rove. Since we saved him, he agrees to help us navigate the area. He takes us to a safe place where we sit around a fire and discuss what we learned. It seems the substance known as Wilk is an artificial energy source capable of altering the weather. With this realization, we decide we need to go back to Azus and warn Werner that something bad could happen if he repairs the land spire there. We get there and tell Werner to stop the repairs, but he doesn't listen and says it is too late as they light the forge. Before they can celebrate, the fire gets out of hand and a group of Ajarakan appear right outside the village. While we go deal with them, Gemma and the villagers stay behind to reroute the fire to the old forge. We take one out, but more appear back in the village. However, a monster known only as the Black Flame appeared and took them down below the forge with it. The village elder tells us of the monster, but only from stories he heard as a child. We then head out in search of the monster and get to hunting. We take it out with relative ease and go back to the village where they begin celebrating.
Pause. I'm gonna take a cat nap.
Guardians of the Forge. Completed mission Long Forgotten Flame. With no other leads here, we head back to main base in the plains as Rosso has requested us. We have a roundtable where we all discuss what we know so far. After that, we determine we need to investigate the ice shard cliffs further, and it just so happens that the Black Flame melted away the ice blocking the path. Nata leads us through the path when he finds the glove he lost when he made his escape. Just as we are approaching the entrance to his village, a strange looking Doshagama busts through the wall and picks a fight with us. Unfortunately for him, we're just built different and slay him. Upon further investigation, the Doshagama appears to lack reproductive organs and its stomach and esophagus have atrophied. We also notice it seemed to be absorbing energy like we have witnessed the White Wraith do. With more questions than answers, we continue the search for Nata's people. Nata starts calling out for Tashin and he runs out and embraces Nata. Before we can talk to him, a Rathalos flies in trying to get into their village. We draw it away from the entrance and put it out of its misery. Tashin takes us back to his village where Nata is reunited with his people. Tashin then tells us the story of their people. They are descendants of those who studied the energy known as Wilk. They live in the remains of the once great city Wyveria where Wilk is produced. Deep underground, there's a shrine that houses what they call the Dragon Torch, which is the source of Wilk, or as they call it, Wyvern Milk. With more questions, Tashin has somewhere he needs to show us that will help give us answers. But first, he tells us that the monster that attacked their village was a guardian Arkveld. Alma recognizes Arkveld as a long extinct species, but asks what a guardian is. Tashin says it is a monster that served them, and tells us to follow him. He shows us an area filled with what appear to be monster cocoons, and tells us that their ancestors succeeded in creating life and called them guardians. These guardians were made with several unique properties. They don't eat and only need wyvern milk to live, and they live indefinitely, thus not needing to reproduce. For whatever reason though, the Arkveld awoke, attacked their village, and then fled. Nata then has a meltdown and feels bad for the Arkveld even though it killed many of his people, and decides they are just as bad as the monsters. After his freak out, several guardians awake from the cocoons as the Arkveld swoops in and starts eating them. This prompts more questions as we were just told guardians didn't need to eat. We manage to repel it and Tashin tells us we need to find the Allharken, who acts as an advisor to the Keepers, as she may have information about the Arkveld's transformation. We charge ahead in search of the Allharken, but first must navigate through the icy terrain and repel the giant monster Jin Dahad. This music's pretty epic. After doing enough damage, we manage to defy gravity and narrowly escape it. We continue along the path and eventually get to Suja and meet the Allharken. She tells us she has been expecting us and gives us some more backstory on Wyveria. She also tells of the guardian they created to be their savior. It is so strong that it can eradicate whole civilizations. It fell dormant when the city collapsed, but it remains alive to this day. Unfortunately, she is not able to give us any more information about the Arkveld, but by talking it out, we determine we need to head back to the ruins of Wyveria and do more research on the guardians themselves. We delve deeper into the ruins to search for clues of where Arkveld might have gone. We come across a guardian, Ebony Odogaran, that we make quick work of. Ebony Odogaran. Ooh, I'm so scared.
It really is a guardian.
We are then immediately attacked by a zoo that appears to be feeding on the guardians.
I don't think that's a guardian.
No.
After taking him out, we head back to camp to resupply and then make our way to the lower stratum. When we reach our destination, we see Arkveld just absolutely destroying everything it sees. Nata tries to stop us from fighting it, but that's kind of the whole point of the game, so we charge in.
Arkveld's lost control. It's gone berserk. Don't let your guard down.
You go.
With the presumed big bad dealt with, we still don't have answers as to what he was doing. Nata wants us to go to the Dragon Torch to see what he was after. We find the Dragon Torch, but it appears a guardian has taken it over. With this information, we go back to camp and discuss our findings with Tashin and the Allharken. They tell us the guardian is called Zoshia, and Wyveria created it as their final line of defense. This is the guardian that doomed the capital city, and it was thought to have been dormant, but in reality, it has been siphoning energy from the Dragon Torch this whole time. Tashin says in order to stop Zoshia, we have to cut off its energy source. This means destroying the Dragon Torch, and Nata's pendant is the key to doing so. It contains a counteracting agent that was made to destroy the Dragon Torch if it ever became a problem. That was Nata's father's role before he passed, and the pendant was passed on to Nata. Given this information, Nata agrees that he should be the one to destroy the Dragon Torch. Once we arrive at the Dragon Torch, we suggest one other option. Instead of destroying the Dragon Torch and potentially ruin life as we know it, we can just 1v1 Zoshia and solve the problem with violence. This is the option we go with and get a pretty dope cutscene to start the fight.
By my own order. I will slay Zoshia. Now's our chance.
Put a dent in it.
After a long, hard fight, we finally managed to take the monster down. We returned to town triumphant. Kinda seems that way. I feel like I should get a trophy for this, but... Oh yeah, there we go. Bringer of Harmony. Completed mission Monster Hunter. Nice. What a mission title. After the credits, we get a cutscene of us finding what appears to be an Arkveld egg that was hatched. This leads us into high rank. The story continues as we go into high rank, but we have to increase our rank to progress through the missions this time. Our first mission is to head into the forest to see if anything has changed as a result of us killing Zoshia. On our investigation, we find some peculiar tracks that we follow. Then a Wudwud asks us for help as a group of Yeon Kutkus are giving them some trouble. This piques our interest as Yeon Kutku are usually territorial and don't roam in groups. In order to gather information, we decide to capture one and study it.
I've set a trap.
Your chance. Hit it with some preg bombs. That was a little chaotic.
Yep.
New ecosystems. Completed mission, new ecosystems. Nice. After ranking up, we unlock our next story mission. This one has us hunt down a Lalabarina and a Guardian Fulgur Anjanath.
This is not how I saw my day going.
Right on target.
I've set a trap.
A bitter environment. Completed mission Wyvern Sparks and Rose Thorns. Nice, Ed. The next mission has us take down a Gormagala and a frenzied Blanganga.
Admirably done.
Beyond the Black Wings. Completed mission A World Turned Upside Down. There we go.
Guess what?
The final story mission of the game has us investigate and hunt down an Arkveld that we witnessed defeat a Ray Dow.
Right. The target is an aberrant Arkveld. The guild authorizes the hunt.
Understood. Well then, let's
It's
get
me and you,
going.
big boy.
Paralyzed. Go all out.
Nice. One corner of the world. Completed mission. What lies ahead? Nice. So it should be the last, like, story trophy. Cool. With the main story out of the way, it is time to get to the real grind. While playing through the story, I also earned these trophies.
So, where to next? Well done, Hunter. Now let's continue our
The
investigation.
hunt is on. Completed your first field survey. Bigger they are. Successfully mounted a monster for the first time. Nice. Ride or ride companion. Customize your sacred or change its decorations for the first time. Alright, cool. Was it a meal to remember? Cooked over the BBQ grill for the first time. Yes. Follow? Newly forged bonds followed someone for the first time. Let's go. Stuck. Okay, going down. Okay. Co-op hunting. So fun. Hunters United? Did you get that trophy too? True hunter is never satisfied. Completed 50 quests. Wilds introduced a new mechanic called focus mode that allows you to target weak points that you create on monsters. Doing so 50 times earned this trophy. Where it hurts. And 50 successful attacks on weak points or wounds in focus mode. Nice. This game also has many side missions aside from the main story. A step toward mutual understanding. Completed your first side mission. Let's go. I believe once I complete this, should get a trophy.
Our investigation confirmed that it's a fair and they
Mission complete. Or not. Okay. There it is. East to west. 100 never arrests. Completed 30 different side missions. Dope. You can also perform sneak attacks on monsters in this game. Performed your first successful sneak attack. Nice. As you play through the open world, if you spot a monster you want to fight later on, you can create an investigation and do it at any time. Doing my first one earned me a trophy. The investigations begin. Completed your first investigation. Nice. I then just kept playing through the game, occasionally earning trophies. Camp Master established pop-up camps in 10 places. Nice. Possessed 1 million zenny. Nice. Let's go. Hunted 100 large monsters. Let's go. Gossip Hunter. There we go. Viewed 30 different hunter profiles. Thank you, Greg. Should get a trophy for capturing this thing. Prize held high. Let's go. Caught a creature that bears an ancient wyvern coin. Dope. Oh man, he's dead. Someone worth following. Completed 100 quests with your palico deployed. Aw. Best friend cat. I might as well. Wow, but don't worry, I do. Don't worry, dude. I have the stuff. Oh my gosh. Capture Pro captured 50 monsters. Let's go.
I'll just hop off for now.
Finally got you. Caught a shooting star. Caught a creature in the desert that shines like a shooting star. Good lord, that took forever.
Right on target! We're getting paid well.
Monster PhD. Hunted many different large monsters. Nice.
I'm ready to work. Alrighty.
Impregnable defense. Forged 5 different pieces of armor with 37 or higher. Nice. For this trophy, I just need to edit a pop-up camp for the first time. So let's go ahead and knock that one out real quick.
What can we do for you?
Sure.
We'll have that done in 2
Oh, there we go, Glamper. Customize the pop-up camp for the first time. Nice. For this one, I have to cook a well-done steak.
Doesn't look half bad.
Mmm, so tasty. Successfully cooked a well-done steak for the first time. There we go. For this trophy, I just have to create my first Ardian weapon of rarity 8. So let's go ahead and knock that out.
Alright, let's see what we can come up with. I'm ready to work.
A legacy restore. There we go. Obtained an Ardian weapon of rarity 8.
I'm ready to work. Alrighty.
There we go. Power is everything. Forged 5 different weapons with rarity 7 or higher. Monsters have a chance of being tempered when they spawn in. A tempered monster is usually more aggressive and a little more difficult to take down. Hunting 50 of them, however, unlocks a trophy.
Set a trap.
Seasoned Hunter. Hunted 50 tempered monsters. Oh, very nice. There are several rare items that only spawn in during certain times and weathers in each region. For collecting 10, you get a trophy. Hey, there we go. Explorer of the Eastlands. Obtained 10 different special items of rarity 6. There we go. By far, the most time-consuming part of the platinum was the crown hunting. 26 out of the 29 monsters at launch have 2 crowns that you have to obtain for several trophies. Each time a monster spawns, it changes in size and has a chance to be really small, granting a miniature crown, or really big, granting a giant gold crown. And you guessed it, you have to get both crowns for all 26 of those monsters, and it is completely RNG. There is a way to speed this up by sharing investigations with other hunters, but I wanted to do it as genuinely as possible, so I found and obtained all of the crowns on my own. For this, I used a total of 3 methods. The first method is what has been playing in the background. I would rest at the Windward Plains camp and set the weather to inclemency so the apex monster for the region would spawn, and then I would ride around to every monster in each region and check if it was a crown that I needed. To keep track, I made a spreadsheet and would mark them off as I found them. Each lap of this took me around 10 minutes until I started knocking some off the list. The second method was to use the arena. For whatever reason, the monster that spawned here changed size each time you left the area and came back. If it happened to be a monster that I still needed either crown for, I would fast travel to the arena, check it, fast travel out, and then fast travel back in until I got a crown. The third and final method I used was to save the game right before a monster I needed spawned, run to it, and check if it was a crown. Quit the game without saving, and then load back in to check if it spawned with a crown this time. I only did this for the last monster I needed. After about 20 to 30 hours, I finally got my last crown, earning several trophies. Keen-eyed observation. Use the binoculars to spot a gold crown large monster. Nice. Giant crown. Obtained your first silver crown or higher in the hunting log. Nice. Giant crown collector. Obtain a gold crown for 10 or more monsters in the hunting log. There we go. Giant crown master. Obtain a gold crown for many monsters in the hunting log. Let's freaking go, boys. Hey, miniature crown. Obtain your first miniature crown in the hunting log. Nice. Hey, miniature crown collector. Obtain a miniature crown for 10 or more monsters in the hunting log. There we go. Making progress. We got it.
Commencing quest now. Are you prepared?
This is it, boys.
Almost there.
Come on, baby. Here we go.
Right on target. You're getting paid well for that one.
Get me out of here.
Nicely done, Hunter. Glad you're in one piece.
Small miniature crown trophy. Maybe. There it is. Miniature crown master. Obtain a miniature crown from many monsters in the hunting log. I am released from crown prison. Thank you, Lord. Aside from the crowns, there were 3 other trophies that took a while to earn as well. One is for reaching hunter rank 100, another for hunting 50 apex predators, and lastly, completing 100 quests via multiplayer. These were not challenging to earn, they just took a while to get. Each hunt could take anywhere from 2 to 12 minutes depending on the monster, so I got to work. Well, there should be another trophy. Established hunter, reached hunter rank 100. There we go. I believe that should have been the 50th apex predator. So fingers crossed, we get a trophy here. Hey, there we go. Top of the food chain. Hunted 50 apex predators. Hunters united forever. Completed 100 quests via multiplayer. This game also has fishing, which resulted in several trophies and ultimately my final trophy. Angling for a bite. Successfully fished for the first time.
Angler to shine.
Come on, baby, get in. Let's go. Trophy? Monster Squid Hunter. Caught a giant squid while fishing. There we go. With just one trophy left, I saved the best one for last. Time to go fishing, boys. There goes the last one. Aficionado. Reeled in 30 whoppers while fishing. There we go. And Eastward Wings. Obtained all other trophies. There's the platinum. There we go. And a new milestone reached. Because why not? All in all, I had a ton of fun playing Monster Hunter Wilds. It took me about 80 hours to earn the platinum. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and sub to the channel if you want to see more videos like this and see me earn more platinum trophies. Also, drop a comment down below, let me know what your favorite part of the video was and what other games you'd like to see me go for the platinum. Stay hunting, and I'll see you next time.